So, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everyone to my channel. Today we will continue with the GAT course, and today we focus on the analogy questions, which is the most difficult one or the most difficult question in the GAT test. So let's begin. I'm gonna give you the question. I will give you like 5 seconds to think, and then I will give you the correct answer, and then I will tell you why we chose this answer. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, let's begin. Okay, let's see the first question. So, the first question goes like sun and universe. Number one, we have to determine the relation between sun and universe. What do you think? You have 5 seconds. 4. Okay. So if you said the relation between sun and universe is part to whole, you're absolutely correct. Because the relation here is that the sun is part of the universe. So let's go to the choices. My idea with when it comes to solving these choices is basically like this. So the sun is part of the universe. So the rest of the relation are supposed to be based on the same relation, which is part to whole. So we have food and table, door and house, wool and fur, ring and gem. If you were to delete or omit two choices, now, yeah, before we begin doing that, there are two strategies here if you want to master solving this. The first strategy is you get to know the answer directly, which is like super, super, super duper cool. The second strategy is when you face a little bit confusing question, you start omitting or deleting the choices that don't have the same relation. And then you will like end up being stuck between two choices, the two, maybe also one. Like, let's see. Food to table. Some of you might think that food is part of the table. So we will keep that now and then look for the other choices because choice A is a little bit suspicious, so we keep it now. Wool and fur. Wool and fur. Wool and fur. You keep saying this to yourself, and then we get to know the relation. Of course, wool and fur, they are related, but they don't have the same relation as part to whole because we make fur out of wool. So this choice is wrong. It's not related to the same relation. Door and house, door and house. Of course, the door is part of the house, so we'll keep that for like later on. Ring and gem, of course, the ring is not like related to, it's related to it, might be related to it, but it's not based on part to whole. This choice is also wrong. So if you choose door and house, you're amazing because the door is part of the house. Okay, while food is not always part of the table. The sun is always part of the universe, while food is not always part of the table. Did you get it? Now, when you think about the relation, you have to think deeper. You have to give it a really, really good way of thinking. So food and table, they might be related because you can say that food is on the table, but not all the time the food is on the table. However, the door is all the time part of the house. That's the first question, and this is how we solved it. Let's move on to the next one. Electricity and light. You have 5 seconds to determine the relation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let's get to know the relation here. Electricity and light. So we can say that light comes from electricity. You see, now you are making your own analogy. Or electricity gives us light. So the relation here is purpose. The purpose of electricity is to give us light. So reform and deeds, of course, they are not according to the relation that we have here. Signal and intersection. Signal are like a sign of intersection. So, but they are not like, the signal doesn't give us intersection. Okay. They are a sign that there's some sort of intersection. Past and present, of course, they are antonyms. So the only choice that you are left with is palm tree and dates. Why? Electricity gives us light, a palm tree gives us date. So light comes from electricity, dates come from palm tree. If you solve it like this, you're amazing. So determining the relation between the words is the most important thing. Let's carry on. Horse and stable. If you don't know the meaning of the stable, then we have a really, really, really important, like we have an issue here because you are in grade 11 now or 12. So you're supposed to know as many words as you can. A stable is the place where a horse stays in or lives or stays. Type horse and stable. So the horse stays in a stable. So house and man, shoe and foot, sea and water, sword and sheath. A sheath is what covers the sword, is where the sword stays, or where you put the sword. All right, you have 5 seconds. Huh. Okay. If we take choice A, house and man. Okay, a man stays in the house. So even if your way of thinking is correct, we are supposed to be flipping those. So it's supposed to be man first, then house. Okay, so this one is wrong. Then shoe and foot. If they were flipped, I would agree with you. If they were like swiped, foot comes first and shoe comes second, I would agree with you. Because it's very important that you bear in your mind the like how the words are arranged in the pair words. So the horse comes first, so the foot should come first, and then the stable comes second, then the shoe should come second. So this choice is also wrong. Sea and water, of course, they are not related. So the most accurate answer here is sword and sheath. Sheath, I'm sorry. So horse stays in the stable, sword stays in the sheath. Okay, let's carry on. Question 4. Honey and bee. What's the relation? You have 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, and 5. What do you think? So the relation here, you can say that honey gives us bee, or the opposite. Bee gives us honey, so the honey comes from the bee. Insect and grasshopper? No, because the relation here is what's the purpose of the bee? It gives us honey. Where does honey come from? Comes from bee. Okay, so insect and grasshopper is not correct. Wood and tree. Wood and tree. Yeah, we can say that wood comes from a tree, but basically, a tree is not a living thing in here, like an insect or an animal or a human being. Okay, like village and ant. So we leave this choice now. We leave it for now. Okay, we have village and ant. Of course, they are not related. Now we have milk and cow. So the milk comes from a cow, like honey comes from bee. But I have a dilemma here is that also wood comes from the tree. But what can we say? That sometimes the wood is manufactured and the tree is not a breathing organism here. So we have bee is a living thing, cow is also a living thing. So the most accurate answer here would be milk and cow. Why? Honey comes from bee and milk comes from cow. Let's carry on. Then we have house and door. What do you think? House and door. House and door. You have 5 seconds. Okay. So we can say the relation here is part to whole. Is the house part of the door? Of course, the house is not part of the whole. Okay, let's see what's the relation here. Now, I can say that there is a house and there's a door. What's the purpose of the door? The purpose of the door is to go inside or into the house. So how do I get into the house? Is through the door. Okay, so let's see what should we do here. Glass and water? Nope. Food and drink? Nope. Car and key? Car and key. Yeah, so I use the door to get into the house. I use the key to get into the car. Man and boy, of course, they are not related. You see, even though you have some sort of, you're suspecting, yani, choice C might not be right, the rest of the choices are not helping you. because they are not related. And even if they are related, they are not related according to the paired words here, according to house and door. So we have here the correct answer is car and key. So let's carry on. Okay, analogy question 6, joys and sorrow. Yeah, that's a very good one. Joys and sorrows. Joy is like happiness, sorrow like sadness. So what's the relation? Without even needing like 5 seconds, it's antonyms. So black and white is antonym, okay? Stinginess and abundance is also antonyms. Night and day is also antonym. Ease and hardship is also antonym. So what do you think? This is a very difficult question. Why? Because most of the choices that I have here are based on antonyms, and this is where like your own critical thinking should help you. Like, let's see. Joys and sorrows are things, some sort of feelings, or things that a human being experience. Like black and white are antonyms, but human being doesn't feel black and white. He doesn't experience black and white in his life. So they are antonyms and they are related. But if I give it a second thought about question 6 here, joys and sorrows are feeling or things that a human being go through or experience. So black and white doesn't match here. Also, the words night and day. Now, I still have stinginess and abundance. Stinginess and abundance is basically something that is related to products or goods. Okay. But if I see the word ease and hardship, sometimes you have some sort of like easy situation, and sometimes we have very difficult or hard or critical situations. So ease and hardship are related together because they are things that a human being might experience or feel, and joys and sorrow are also the same. So the most accurate between these two, stinginess and abundance and ease and hardship, is that they are both antonyms, but the words ease and hardship is something that a human being experience, not like stinginess and abundance. Okay? So the most accurate answer here will be ease and hardship. It's difficult because some of the questions here that you might face in the analogy type is that they might all be the same. So you have to give it a very good thinking. Always give it a second thought, because black and white is antonyms. Night and day are antonyms. Like stinginess and abundance, it's the same. But at the same time, what's the relation between joys and sorrow beyond being antonyms? Okay, so you have to always give it a second thought about like the relation between the words, because all of the choices might give you the same relation, but there is a minor or like a little bit slight of difference, just like ease and hardship and stinginess and abundance here, black and white and night and day. Take care of those kind of questions because they always need clear thinking from you. Let's carry on. Okay, diligence and success. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see. Diligence and success. Diligence means hard work or determination. So if you have, or if you work hard, you will succeed. So hard work or diligence leads to success. So they might be cause and effect. What causes success is diligence. So we have here destruction and fire. We have reading and awareness. We have victory and profit. We have wealth and giving. Focus on the relation now. We are looking for cause and effect. What is the cause of success? Is diligence. Okay. Destruction and fire. What is the cause of the fire? Is it destruction? No. If they were flipped, I might give it a second thought, but no, it's not correct. Victory and profit. Of course, victory might lead to profit, of course, but victory also comes with loss, like collateral damage, for example. So I'm going to leave this just for a little bit. Reading leads to awareness. Yeah, when you read, you become knowledgeable. So we also keep this for a second thought. Wealth and giving, no, nope. I'll tell you why no. Because not every wealthy man is a generous or a given man. See? Now, although they look a little bit familiar to the main relation here, to the cause and effect here, diligence and success, being wealthy doesn't also mean that you are being generous. See? So the wealth and giving doesn't work here. Now I have two choices to look deeply into: victory and profit, and reading and awareness. Whenever you read, you become aware of the life or whatever that you are reading. So you become knowledgeable. When you have victory, doesn't mean that you'll always have profit, because victory also comes with a loss. So whenever you read, you become knowledgeable. Whenever you do hard work, you become successful. See some slight differences here. If you give it a second thought, you will master knowing the correct answer. Let's go to question number 8. We have connection and telephone. I think this one is easy, but it contains a little bit of difficult words. Let's read: symbol and encryption, drinking water, eating a spoon, serenity and calmness. The word serenity comes from the word serene. Serene is a very good word in English. It means peace. So serenity means peace or peacefulness. And then we have calmness. So if I say serenity, if I know the meaning of serenity and calmness, that means they are synonyms. So I'm not going to choose this because they are synonyms. And the relation here is that purpose. How do I get connection? Through the telephone. What's the purpose of telephone? Is to get connected. Okay. Now, symbol and encryption. Nah, don't think so. Drinking water, of course, they are not related. So what's the purpose of the spoon? Is to eat. How do I eat? With a spoon. How do I communicate or contact or connect to others? Through the telephone. How do I eat? I eat with a spoon. Okay. Let's move on to analogy question number 9. We have monopoly and expensiveness. That's a very difficult one. So monopoly, it's not the game. It's not the board game. The word monopoly leads to expensiveness. Monopoly is to take control of the market so that no one is able to sell unless you. Like, what do you think? Patience and reward, creativity and laziness, marriage and divorce, illness and death. So first of all, let's determine the relation. The relation here is cause and effect. Monopoly leads to expensiveness. Like patience and reward, I might be leaving this for now because I need to think about it like clearly. Creativity and laziness, no, they are not related. And if they are related, that would be antonyms. And the relation here is not antonyms. Then we have marriage and divorce. Marriage leads to divorce. Seriously, really? No, they are antonyms. Okay. Okay. And then we have illness and death. So illness leads to death. Not in every case, right? Yeah. So this one is wrong. This one is wrong. And this one is wrong. You see? Getting to know the correct answer through reading the choices and trying to make connection between the choices that I have and the correct answer. If it's not related to the main pair, it's wrong. And then you are left with one or two choices. It's the correct answer. And then your brain will help you determining the type here or the analogy. Your brain will help you to analyze the relation between patience and reward. So monopoly leads to expensiveness. Patience is always rewarded. When you have patience, you will always be rewarded, whether in this life or the afterlife. So patience is always rewarded, just like monopoly leads to expensiveness. Okay? Right. You see the strategy that we use to solve this question? It's just like we used omitting the answers that don't have the same relation between the words. Okay? So let's move on. Okay, we have here question 10, neglect and failure. What's the relation? You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Neglect and failure. Neglect leads to failure. So the relation here is also cause and effect or something that causes the other. What do you choose? Accident and speed. Wallahi, it might work, right? Yeah, because speed leads to accident. صح? Okay, let's carry on. effort and tiredness. Whenever you do some hard work or effort, you are tired. Okay. If it was like thinking, okay. Fasting and starvation. No, because not every time you fast, you are starving, right? So we fast in Ramadan. We don't feel starved. Like we don't feel hungry, I mean. Okay. World and work, of course, they are not related. So fasting and starvation are also not related. They are related, but not every fasting leads to starvation. We fast in Ramadan, but we don't starve. Like accidents and speed. Yeah. Speed leads to accident. But it would be correct if they were swiped, if accident was here and speed was here. So neglect leads to failure, accidents leads to speed, or accidents are the cause of speed. Did you get it? Now this one is wrong. When would it be like correct? It would be correct if they were flipped. So we said this is wrong, this is wrong. So if they were flipped, I might choose it and it might be correct. But whatever effort you do, even if it was thinking, you become tired. So effort leads to tiredness. So those were like the 10 questions of this clip. We will continue, inshallah. But however, you see how we are thinking about the questions. It is not just like looking at the surface, because you will find questions like being like clear to answer, and other questions you will need some effort to think about them more than once. So don't just look at the surface, try to think more about the relation between the two words, especially if you have more than one choice talking about the same, or like having the same relation as the paired work. Okay. So I'll be seeing you inshallah in coming clips about analogy. We will carry on until we finish almost 300 inshallah analogy questions. Okay? I'll be seeing you in coming clips inshallah. Goodbye.